It's that time of the year. We're going to do our taxes.
On time. That's the
On
important
time.
part here this year.
Last year, we did our taxes with TurboTax Business Full Service. We uploaded our documents. We did a few phone calls with our TurboTax expert, who was an enrolled agent. They put everything together, reviewed the return with us, and filed it. We now have TurboTax Business Assisted, which is the self-service product. And we are going to be able to actually do our own taxes in TurboTax software for our LLC.
If you think back to when we did the TurboTax Live business experience last year, highlight some of the things that maybe you liked about it or didn't like about it.
I guess what I liked about it was that there was a portal that was fairly easy to use to submit documents. There was quality control. Our preparer seemed to know what he was doing. He was easy to work with. He worked with us to get the return done before he went on vacation, didn't leave us in the lurch. So I was pretty happy with it in terms of the experience.
I think for me, it was the dance of like, oh, now we need this document. Now we need this document. Then we have a phone call and then, hey, we need you to upload this now. Hopefully, because it's going to have AI in it, we're going to upload some docs and then it's going to tell us what we need and not wait 3, 4, 5 days later to tell us what we need. Hopefully we get a smoother experience.
Yeah, last year when we signed up, we had to book an appointment and we really couldn't do anything until we had our first appointment. So I'm hoping we can actually make some progress today. Here's the website. I'm going to click on Explore Now. Here we have two options. On the left, we have Live Assisted Business File with Unlimited Expert Help as you go. That's the one we're going to want to do. Over on the right, we've got the full service option we did last year. Let's look at the pricing. Assisted Business is normally $739, and it is discounted currently to $489. State is additional. We're going to pay probably $500 and change to get our return done if we do assisted. Interestingly, full service is now $1,749, so even more than we paid last year, but it is currently discounted to $1,169 with states additional. We're definitely going to save some money by doing this ourselves.
And doing it on time.
I'm going to try to see if we can pull in our info from last year. Here we go. It's asking us to confirm our business information. Do you see anything here we need to change?
Paid employees says no. That's new this year.
That's
we
new
started
this year.
paying people out of this one.
Okay, looks good.
I see in the corner is the live help. If we click on that, are we going to get a person or is that chatbot? Can you just click on it once and see what pops up?
All right, so now we have more questions to answer. Is this our final return?
Nope.
Did we buy or sell a business during the year?
Nope.
Is it traded publicly?
Nope.
Did we have debt that was canceled, forgiven, or reduced other than PPP loans?
Nope.
Did we distribute a tenancy in common to any partner during the year?
I don't know. Maybe we could ask the help for that. I don't
Okay.
know what a tenancy in common is.
Yeah, and it doesn't help to hover over it. So what is a tenancy in common? It says, here are some quick answers for you, and we have 3 links to what look like support articles. But there's no AI in this. I was thinking that we'd get an AI answer. I'm going to ask ChatGPT for this answer. The question from TurboTax pertains to a specific type of real estate ownership and transaction within a partnership or similar entity. All right, well, it's going into lots of detail, but I know we didn't own any real estate. All right, do we have more than $10,000 in a foreign account? Did we get a distribution from a foreign trust or set one up?
No.
Did we make payments to foreign persons?
No.
Did a foreign corporation acquire stuff? Was a specified domestic entity required to file Form 8938?
I don't know what an 8938 is.
Your partnership is a specified domestic entity if it is a closely held domestic partnership and has at least 50% of its gross income from passive income or at least 50% of its assets produced or are held for the production of passive income. Well, this is an active business, and I know enough about passive income to know this is not passive.
Passive.
But you could see how your typical taxpayer might be very confused by this. And actually, the explanation is not totally helpful because it doesn't really explain what passive income is. All right, moving on. Aggregated activities for Section 465 at-risk purposes. There's no explainer for that. Why would there not be an explainer for this? If there's an explainer for what is a 721C partnership, why would they not have an explainer for Section 465? It's just as obtuse.
Yeah, I feel like all of these questions are, we weren't asked these last year. In my experience doing other business returns, I haven't been asked these questions. So is this something that is good due diligence by TurboTax? Can't they ask 1 or 2 summary questions at the top that will figure out if they need to ask the rest of these questions? Like where's the AI? Where's the magic?
I know that we don't have to deal with this. And it's check no, and we imported from last year. So I'm really not worried about it. But I'm just thinking, if I was brand new to this would be kind of difficult.
I could not answer these questions. 3 or 4 of them down, I was like, why don't we just have the live person do the taxes for us? I don't know the answers to this.
Well, and that's what we're going to do is we're going to say no to all this stuff. And then we're going to hope that our live preparer, our expert, not our preparer, our reviewer, reviews it and double checks this. A few more questions we have to get through. Repurchase corporate stock? No. Okay. That's all of them. It's a big, long list. Continue. Did you make any payments in 2023 that would require you to file any 1099 forms, David?
Yes, we did.
And that one, we don't need them to explain. We understand that.
I used QuickBooks and Intuit to file the 1099s. Like, where is the AI and the smartness here? Like, they should pick this up.
You can save time by having the following documents at hand as we go through your return. Oh, and we can print the checklist.
Wow, it looks like what I would have gotten from a traditional, ugly, printed out tax organizer file. Yeah. It really is bad. It's not even branded TurboTax.
What's weird is that it's already checked off some of these things.
We didn't give them our bank statements yet for this year.
All right, continue. Any member changes to our LLC? We didn't have any capital account distributions. I can see, though, this is where like a taxpayer might get confused if they did that. Did we change the member's entity type? No. Name or address change? No. Did we add a member? No. Final year? No. Allocation method. Basis adjustment. Centralized partnership audit regime. Let's get you your best possible tax outcome. Now TurboTax will ask about your business income and then check for money-saving deductions that may apply to your business. All right, I hope we have that P&L ready to go, David.
I get some of that.
We're here on the Enter Service Receipts screen. We can enter the total amount or amounts by category. And we had 3 categories last year, and it brought those in. This is strange. It's saying the total receipts and sales entered below does not match the total amount that was previously recorded on your return. Please be sure the total entered on the screen is the correct amount you wish to continue with. Should we just enter the total amount?
Yeah, let's just enter the total. All right.
Okay.
So, and we have that. It's easier because it just says total income.
So we've got service receipts in there. Customer returns, we don't have any. Investment income, none. We didn't dispose of business property. We don't have any other income, right? No royalty or other income. And we didn't receive any K-1s.
Correct.
Deductions, the fun part. Depreciation of assets, no. We don't have any assets that we capitalize for this
You
business.
have a lot of microphones, Blake. You buy lots of microphones.
Yeah, well, they're below the threshold for capitalizing. Because basically I buy one and then it's used up within the year because I buy a new one. Compensation and benefits.
So we had nothing the year before.
No salaries and wages the year before, but we hired people.
And these are going to be true employees, W-2 compensation, right?
It's funny it didn't ask us to import this from QuickBooks.
That's actually a big nuisance.
I guess you can go from QuickBooks to TurboTax, but you can't import into like an existing TurboTax account. Okay, good news. It ties out. Payments to independent contractors. Business expenses. All right, here's a big, long list, David.
Legal fees, accounting fees. So our accounting fees last year were...
Why don't we go down your P&L in order?
First thing is advertising and marketing, contract labor, entertainment of $57.92, bank services and fees, continuing education.
I wish I could just have an alphabetical list of all the expenses.
Memberships and subscriptions.
Which is also not on the default list, so I gotta go to the other list. They have like these categories and then they have subcategories and none of them are in order. There should just be one place where you can enter all of these.
Guaranteed payments, management fee, host revenue share, and accounting services. And then we have meals. It's broken out meals with clients, team meals.
Okay, it's doing it for the 50% limitation. That's fine by me.
Total office expenses, SaaS subscriptions, total supplies. We have other miscellaneous income.
Okay, I got to go back to income for that.
And then I have vehicle expenses for parking, tolls, and gas and fuel.
Reclass that into travel.
That's all the lines of the P&L.
Okay, hopefully it ties out now. Balance sheet.
Do you want me to share my screen so you can just see the balance sheet quickly?
Yeah, let's take a look at your balance sheet.
Our balance sheet.
Well, you made the balance sheet. I haven't signed off on it yet. So it's just cash. That's great. We have no liabilities. So it's just cash and equity. Oh, super easy.
Yeah.
Yay. All right, let's do a quick entry. Perfect. It ties out to our return. Does this match the partnership total assets?
That's what I have for total liabilities and equity. Yep.
Capital reconciliation. Let's do that. It all ties out. Super easy. Done. Now they're going to look for other information that may be necessary to file a complete return. Do you want to work on this credit for small employers? General business credit area will be ready soon. Self-employment earnings worksheet.
We don't own any property.
So far, I haven't seen any AI in this at all.
Where's
the AI? What was it supposed to be? I thought we were going to see some AI stuff.
We've gone to these keynotes. We've seen commercials. We've sat through these
presentations.
Yeah. Where's the AI?
Tax elections. I don't think we need to make a special depreciation allowance because we don't have any. And that's about disaster relief legislation. Crop insurance proceeds, no. Involuntary conversion gain, no. Counting elections, I don't think we need to make any. We're just doing cash basis. I don't know how easy this would be for a regular old.
I would usually on these opt into no's a lot and be like, hope I don't get in trouble.
Right, just say no for everything. Qualified business income deduction. There's a big, long description here. I want QBI, so guess what? We're just going to say yes and see what our live expert says. It's allowing us to make adjustments. I'm not going to make any adjustments. Do we have any Section 179 carryover?
I'm thinking the real test of the service, Blake, would have been me to do this without you. I would have probably had to ask you a bunch of questions and not been able to do it myself.
Yeah, maybe we should have had you do this alone. You could have asked the live help person, schedule a call.
Well, I know I didn't imagine this is going to be so technical like this.
This is very much what the 1040 process is. It's like very similar to me.
But it's friendlier.
Yeah.
Like, did you rent a house? Did you own a house? It asks questions in that type of verbiage.
Who will sign the return? I'll do it. Congratulations, you're almost done. Let's make sure your taxes are correct. Let's make sure you're getting every dollar you deserve. Form 1065, page 1 to 4, Schedule B, line 31 amount must be entered. I don't know how to fix that, though. Check this entry. Partnership information worksheet. Filing required must be entered for electronic filing. This doesn't make any sense. And it just gives me a bunch of forms and checkboxes.
Who would know this?
Like, how am I supposed to know what this even means? I'm just going to skip it.
All right.
Practitioner PIN checkbox should not have a value. Okay. Number of employees W-2s must be entered. Partnership audit chances. Good news. Very few of the partnership tax returns filed each year are audited. Just 0.4% in recent years. David, should we go back and maybe add some zeros to our deductions?
Change up our numbers a little bit.
So that's crazy that like Schedule C individuals, they have a significantly higher chance of getting audited than we do filing a partnership return. Okay, we made it through the federal smart check. How are we doing? We've been doing this now for about 2 hours.
2 hours.
Now we're going to do the state return. Multi-state business. If Earmark Media LLC has income from a trade or business operated within and outside of Arizona, we have to allocate the income. But we're going to say it was only Arizona, so we don't need to.
It didn't exist in 2021.
Let's just say
that's weird because it's not an or question.
Yeah. Let's just say yes. Okay. No, we didn't file an amended federal partnership return. Any state adjustments?
What does this tax-friendly state give us, Blake?
Mine exploration expenses. Did we mine any silver, copper?
Wood stoves? Did we have
wood stoves, wood fireplaces, and gas-fired fireplaces. Gas-fired fireplaces. Nope. Agricultural crops, charitable contributions. No, we didn't contribute any crops. Okay. No tax credits for Arizona. Now, see, this is where like having a pro, if you qualify for any of this stuff, you'll miss it. You will easily miss it because there's no AI to like ask you questions and help you figure it out. You just have to like know somehow. Any other forms? I don't think so. State interview complete. Continue. All right, done with state. There we go. Now we can have a tax expert review our business return. Have a tax expert review your business return. We'll check your return for errors. You'll get the answers to all your tax-related questions. Preparing air check. Boop, bop, boop, bop, boop, bop, boop, bop, 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 bop. A tax expert can answer any final questions before you file. It's included. Would you like to connect with an expert, David?
We paid for it.
Let's talk in 5 minutes.
Whoa.
Oh, wow. That's fast.
On demand. This is amazing. This is a surprise. Okay. Finally, I feel delighted.
I'm a little nervous.
This is the first time I've been wowed in this experience so far. I've honestly felt this has been very underwhelming, and I would argue last year's was better value, even though we paid more.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, this is TurboTax Business. I'm a tax expert. I'm calling to assist in filing business taxes. How can I help you, Jay?
Well, TurboTax just told me to schedule a call where we just went through the assisted workflow, and we're ready for somebody to review our return.
Yes, I could definitely help you with that. I just need to see your screen so I can review your return.
Okay, so I see share your screen, sensitive data in TurboTax will be hidden, accept.
So let's start from, go here, real estate.
So I have to click that?
Yes. Yeah, I won't be able to click at it. Bang. I scroll up and down a little bit. Everything else accurate to you as well, right?
Yeah, I didn't understand what a lot of these meant. I did my best.
Okay. And what line of business is there a business in?
We do media production, podcasts, that sort of thing.
Okay, yeah, that's something. Do you have any rental income or no?
No.
Wait, like business. Did you guys make under the?
Well, you'll see in the income section, that we had income of in service income.
No worries. Okay, yeah, everything is up to date, including the date, right?
Yep, that is today.
Okay, and let's do the final part. You just have to finalize this part, which is the payment. And yeah, after this, it's you just have to process the return, and that's pretty much it.
I have a question. We plugged in the numbers. Do you do anything to verify that we did that correctly?
Yes, once being transmitted, we do another tag. Make sure everything's accurate and everything's there according to your information and everything that you'd enter.
But how do you know that the numbers we entered are correct if you don't look at like the payroll and the QuickBooks P&L and the balance sheet, all that?
You'll be able to enter that after you get past this section. You'll be able to enter your documents.
Enter our documents? What do you mean?
Like sorry, you would be able to file your did you submit your documents in that at a point in time?
No,
Online or it?
we weren't asked to upload anything.
Okay. Let me just verify something really quick, okay? Just 1 second. Near 10th with my internal resources, and just give me 1 moment, okay?
I got him on mute.
Okay. So at this point, all the expert has done is just click next to our whole return that we just did.
Right.
And there's some confusion on whether or not we should have uploaded. I think last year we had to upload our W-2s, our 1099s, profit and loss reports, balance sheets. We had to upload some stuff for the return.
Yeah, right. That's what I figured would be happening right now, is that they would take our return, compare it to the source documents, and make sure that we entered everything correctly. Because if you don't do that, how do you know that you got all the deductions?
And the website says, ask an expert for a better understanding of your taxes or help with a final review. I would think the final review was just us clicking through screens together.
Yeah, I mean, I'm no professional tax preparer, but I do know you tie out to the P&L and you tie it to the balance sheet in QuickBooks, and you tie out to the payroll reports.
And it's interesting to think about last year, how we had to provide a partnership return and we had a reconciliation problem that was off $10, and the due diligence feels much different than the due diligence on this return this year.
Well, I wonder if that's because when you do full service, it's the preparer signing the return. They and Intuit are on the hook. Whereas when we submit this, I am signing the return. To me, this isn't a review. This is just an opportunity for us to ask questions. If they don't actually take the documents and look at them and compare them to the return, it's not a real review. I wouldn't call that a review.
It almost feels like there could be an additional product here. For an extra $250, we will let you upload your docs and we'll sanity check things against your return.
Yeah, but I thought that was included in this price. How do you make sure that somebody got all the deductions that they qualify for if you don't look at their QuickBooks, you don't look at their P&L and their balance sheet? How do you make sure it's accurate without looking at the source documents? The quality control that we had to go through for the full service, I expected that we would have the same quality control at the end. We're just doing all the prep ourselves. It doesn't seem to be the case at all. But this is actually great news for preparers, because that is something that a professional tax preparer, a CPA, and enrolled agent will do.
So yeah, I could see it as a professional. If somebody doesn't want to pay your fees or hire you, you could direct them towards this, but you probably want to direct them to use the full service. It's probably the safer bet, I think. Now, it's interesting though, because we did the work, we didn't have a lot of dancing back and forth, upload docs, wait for an answer, and going back and forth. We're kind of done, right? Return?
Yeah, well, other than the review part, you could probably file this thing.
But we also ourselves, but that's because you being a CPA knew to tick and tie this along the way. Like, let's make sure this number matches the report you gave me before, David.
Yeah. I think this would be very difficult for somebody to do who hasn't ever prepared a partnership return. I used to do my own LLC returns. So I understand an M2 reconciliation. I understand things need to tie out, but your typical business owner is going to have no clue.
Hey, Blake, are you there? While I'm having internal resources look into this, I want to check on Mile a little bit.
I'm on the partnership information worksheet now.
Yeah, so this is where you see right here, add form. These are all the forms that you're able to add. And this is how we verify all the information that you enter is correct. So we autofill these forms for you.
Right.
So that's how everything gets verified.
But how do you verify that I entered the information correctly from my Quick P&L into TurboTax to ensure I get the maximum deduction.
So you could migrate your QuickBooks out to TurboTax.
It's becoming obvious to me that there is no review process where I submit my P&L and my balance sheet and my payroll reports, and then you verify that I did everything correctly. Is that correct? I don't think this guy knows what he's talking about. I mean, we can check our own forms. Like, we can go here and we can look and we can compare to the P&L, right? Like, if we look at total deductions, or, we have to figure out where it is.
This is just making sure TurboTax Wizard posted to the forms correctly, but that's,
Yeah. Well, look, we can check and see, here's our gross receipts or sales, right? Does that match our P&L, right? This is what I would expect our tax expert to be doing, is looking at our P&L and saying, okay, gross receipts and sales make sense. We entered all the individual expenses, but what if we missed one? So we have to sum that up, right? So basically, that's what I would expect, is he would look at the P&L, he would look at everything we entered and make sure that our total deductions match. David, did you make those guaranteed payments? Did you make those to us individually or to our corps?
To our corps, because at that time we were...
Okay.
The guarantee payments were to our corps.
Okay, so that doesn't make sense, because guaranteed payments have to be to the individual partners. So we have to reclass that. We have to treat that differently, because it's showing up on the K1 here. Now, I know that because I know enough about K1s to be dangerous, but maybe our TurboTax expert doesn't know that. So I'm going to try asking that when he gets back to us. Although I don't have very high confidence that he's going to be able to answer that question, but we'll see.
Yeah, we should have spent the extra $500, Blake, and the TurboTax Live, the full service experience.
Though with this, we could only verify the information as entered, and making sure we get your questions resolved and answered, and in full service, we would be able to, verify documents and stuff.
Got it. I have a question about guaranteed payments. So I was like scrolling through here and looking at the K1s and stuff, and I saw that the guaranteed payments that we'd entered, they flow through to the K1s. But then I asked my partner, David, like, who the guaranteed payments were made to. And actually, they were made to our personal LLCs, not to like us as individuals. So I think I entered them wrong. What should they be? How should they be entered?
This should be on the K1 because it was paid out to the specific person on the business.
Well, it wasn't paid to me, though. The payments were not made to me, Blake Oliver. They were made to my LLC.
Yeah, so the LLC itself. So just the K1, what the K1 does is it just divides the distributions on the LLC just for record keeping. This is just the design of the K1 and how it's structured.
Right, but the K1, like, that's income to me, right? I report that income then on my personal return, but it didn't go to me personally. It went to a different LLC.
Okay, it didn't go to Earmark Media. It went to a different LLC.
No, Earmark Media is the one that made the payments. That's the partnership. That's what the return we're doing right now. It went to Sound Advice LLC.
These were not on the K1 last year. And this is where uploading a bunch of docs to a tax professional, they'd have the general ledger, they'd see the 1099s issued to these two companies. If that's already on the 1099, why would I put that number on? So the lesson here is, don't try to do it yourself. There's perspective that needs to happen.
Yeah, use a professional.
And
I would say, use a professional.
And I think right now we've kind of have a goose chase, because I don't think this is kind of in scope of what they do.
No, this should be a question he should be able to answer. This question
does seem valid, though. Yeah,
this is about the guaranteed payments. Like, come on. Like, this is a basic question.
Can you ask it to ChatGPT while we wait and see if that knows what to do with it?
Good idea. If the payment is made to an entity that the partner owns, such as your LLC, and not to the partner directly for services the partner provided to the partnership, it might not be classified as a guaranteed payment in the partnership's tax return. Instead, the management fee paid to your wholly owned LLC may be considered a business expense for the partnership and income for your LLC. That's what I said. These guys are going to get totally eliminated by AI eventually.
Intuit said that the TurboTax Live experts will have the Intuit Assist working alongside them to serve customers more efficiently. But I do suspect, like you said, maybe it's not on the business side yet.
Blake, that is something a guaranteed payment. This case would be a payment that you as the partner took out for services from the business. So that's just something that you would have to kind of ask yourself. This $19,500, Do you take services out for the business? Or that 19,500 on behalf of your Mark Canadian?
That 19,500 was paid to not me personally, but to an LLC that I own 100%.
Okay. So, yeah, see, ties to you. So it's perfectly fine to have the 19 powder.
Before we file this, do you think that we should hand this over to like somebody qualified to take a look at it and see if there's any errors, mistakes?
Some part of me wishes there were just like an upgrade button. Like, yeah, change your mind, switch to the
Full service?
Like you're thinking like one of our peers that's a tax expert to take a look at our return.
Yeah, make sure that it didn't get all like, to make sure that it's right. Like to do what we were trying to get this guy to do.
Yeah. Well, maybe we don't have to because we have audit defense included at no extra cost.
I guess, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a break. And
that's what I think.
Because I need to eat. I'm starving and my brain hurts. And I'm going to come back to this. I'm going to look at the forms, make sure I'm comfortable with it. So I'm going to just take a final look at it and then I'll submit it.
And then look at our stuff from last year's forms.
I'm going to compare to last year. Yes. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
And then if it looks similar enough, then I'm just going to do it. And then, we'll send it.
Yeah, it's not overly complicated. Like honestly, like we got through it and we did it. But I just like the experience, even though the experience wasn't perfect last year, the full service experience is so much better.
I just felt confident that we got the right, answers.
Worked too hard on this one to not be confident.
What does this mean for our listeners who are tax preparers or own accounting firms?
If you're doing it yourself, you're going to struggle to do it yourself. How much is your time and your confidence worth in your return? Yeah. It's worth spending the extra money on a TurboTax Live.
And we spent 2 hours doing this. So consider the value of your time, the value of my time, multiplied by that 2 hours.
To our business, right? Yeah. That's 10x more important. Yeah.
So worth hiring a pro, worth doing the full service versus the assisted for sure, to me. Because I'm going to have to go get somebody to check this anyway. Or I'm going to have to check it and just hope.
Yeah, you're going to have to put your CPA hat on now.
If it was just you alone, you definitely wouldn't want to do the assisted, right?
It was just asking too many questions. I don't have time for this. It's more of a time and the confidence. And frankly, it got worse when we actually asked for the expert help. Like that actually made it worse.
They gave us the wrong answer.
Wrong answer, yeah.
That was not the right answer.
And the reason why is he wasn't getting the full picture. And why is that? Because he didn't have the source documents to work from,
right,
including last year's return, et cetera. It actually doesn't make a lot of sense. If you think a tax expert getting out of context tax questions just isn't a good use of anybody's time.
Really, all he's qualified to do with the information he has is help you get through the software. He's just there.
It felt like tech support. It felt like tech support.
All right, David. I'm glad we're getting close to being done with this, and it's February. I feel good.
This is going to get all the rest of our taxes for the year done sooner because of this. This is great. Are you going to charge me a prep fee since you did most of this work?
Maybe I should put it in my guaranteed payments.
Thank you, sir.
Later.